Hi everyone, I'm doing my John Maxwell, and today I'm doing it on finances. So John Maxwell, the book, still focusing on this, Make Today Count, and he has a formula about how we should manage our expenses. 80% towards living expenses, 10% towards the church or donations and giving, and 10% towards other day-to-day expenses. So that all sounds well and good when you're not earning minimum wage or when you're not living from paycheck to paycheck. And when you are, unfortunately, you have to juggle. You have to balance. It's very nice when you're not an immigrant and you're not saying, okay, by the end of this year, I'm going to be earning 80,000 or 90,000. Or you have people opening doors for you. Or you have an alumni network. And they're like, oh yeah, let's give her a job or let's give him a job. But unfortunately, when you're an immigrant and you're a first generation immigrant, life doesn't work that way. You're most of the time going to be taking on jobs that you didn't really want to get. And you have to learn to survive and to make do. And that's what I've had to do. I don't come from a rich family, I come from a poor family. And my mom's dad, when he worked on the railways, we talk about one job loss and how it affects the family. So there were 5 children, and my grandpa was working on the railways, and the crane came and it hit his leg and it broke his leg, shattered into 3 pieces. So after that, he couldn't work, and he was in the house, and they just got a minimum, whatever, measly government handout that gave them. And then once my mother and her siblings started working, they went out and they started working. So you can just imagine, Parel is a poor area, and it's a scary situation. What do you do if only one person is a breadwinner and something happens to that person and you've got 5 children to think about? So it's a frightening situation. In my case, I spent my money and my time investing in my education. And that's what I decided was important and what I wanted to do. But I tell immigrants that come into Canada, try to get a break in your profession first, and then get your HR designation or get your qualifications, because people here don't value education. They would rather, they had to earn it and they work their way up. Most of them don't have degrees and qualifications when they work in HR. And somebody's uncle or somebody's dad or somebody's friend got them that job, and that's how they got in. So when you come here, you have to change your expectations. When I came here from England, I did my research before I came here. I contacted Rotman, I contacted the HRPA, I found out what I needed to do. And then I went into Rotman based on my management experience overseas and my executive assistant experience, and that's how I got into Rotman. And so the same thing with me, that one job loss from TD, and 10 years, 11 years of nothing but contract. And every time I ask, can I have a little bit more? Oh, they let me go. So that's unfortunately the way it is. Today I had a call from a company in California for an executive assistant role. And I know very well that all these big companies are letting people go. Amazon, Microsoft, Twitter, they're all letting people go. Facebook. So I said to them, thank you, but no thank you. I'm happy in my job. I work from home. Maybe I don't earn that much, but I'm happy. There's pros and cons to everything. So it's not just about how much you earn. You also have to look at where you're living, the amenities, how close I am to the groceries, to transit, how much I'm saving by not having to commute to work. These are all things that you need to think about in terms of finances. And it's all well and good if you have the break and you get the break and you land up in a job paying 60,000, 70,000, 80,000. That's all well and good, but many people do not. And even if you look at these artists today, Phil Collins, Madonna, Bono. They all had all these Live Aid concerts and all these things to help poor people. But their tickets today are $300 upwards. And some of the resales are going for thousands, 3,000, 4,000. And they don't cap it. As the artists, they do not say, we don't want that resale to be going for more than a certain amount. So it says a lot about them. I mean, it's one thing to run a charity and have a charity and do Live Aid. But I know when I was in England, there were a lot of free concerts. There were a lot of parties in the park. There were a lot of things that I went to where there were big names playing. We don't have that in Canada. Here you get what you pay for. And even then, things don't really last. So when you think about finances, think about where you're putting your money, why you're putting your money there. I have a lot of Elvis records. And I know that some of that money goes back into the community in Memphis. And I know that he was a good person. I know that his tickets were not priced at thousands of dollars. At the time, maybe they were, for what they sold, pricey, but they were still nothing compared to what we pay now. So we have to think about the artists we support, why we support them, how they're supporting the community, what they're doing. And that's all part of finances and decision making around finances. We were fortunate with my dad's parents. None of them suffered. None of them landed up being crippled or decrepit, and they had their health. My dad suffered with his heart, but he had his own business, so we were fortunate that way. We got to see him and my mom on a daily basis. Not everybody gets that. We didn't earn a lot of money. You never earn a lot of money in retail, but there were other benefits. We had them around us, and that was worth more than money. To me, that was worth more than money. So when you think about finances, look at the bigger picture. Don't only look at how much you're taking home. People can have jet planes and private planes and travel the world and still not be happy. So you define what makes you happy and go from there.